time goes on, my hype has been building more and more for Tears of the Kingdom. So much so that I want to put together a top 10 most exciting things, like the top 10 things I'm hyped for most when it comes to the Legend of Tears of the Kingdom. The sequel to Breath of the Wild. It's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out in May, so let's get the hype going and let's get the show on the road. There's a lot to talk about, but here are 10 of the things that hype me up the most when it comes to the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Let's begin. The darkness! When I say the darkness, I mean the darkest aspects of Tears of the Kingdom. Now, for the most part, Zelda games have had, its own rivaling aspects of how dark it can be, especially when it comes to Breath of the Wild and other games like, A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, but the more blatant ones such as Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess usually reign supreme when it comes to the lists of those that think that those games are the darkest Zeldas, and they constantly clash with each other. It's like, oh, Majora's Mask is the darkness. Not Tears of the Kingdom. Twilight Princess is the darkness. Well, in my opinion, they're both the darkest in their own aspect. Majora's Mask being psychological, and then, Twilight Princess being more traditional, I would say, like in your face about it. But I feel that Tears of the Kingdom may take the crown considering all the stuff we've been seeing when it comes to the first trailer up until now. The first trailer literally had Zelda and Link finding Ganondorf's dead body that somehow reanimates. This man is too angry to die, and I want to know how he got from point A to point B and how we got to point Z. Anyways, as trailers going on, we see more aspects of Link, getting his arm messed up by malice, Zelda falling into an abyss. We have no idea what's going on with her, and Ganondorf literally telling his allies and servants that, go ahead and reign over Hyrule, eliminate this kingdom and her allies, and leave no survivors. That's, I feel like we're going to be in for a wild story when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom, considering that this is Ganondorf's return to form, since we haven't seen him since Twilight Princess, which was a lot of people consider that to be one of the darkest Zelda games, and now he's back, and I want to see what's going to go down. And Breath of the Wild was dark in its own aspect, in its own right, considering that, the Kingdom of Hyrule got pretty much bodied over the course of 100 years. So, to see how the ante is going to be insanely upped in Tears of the Kingdom, I mean, look at Hyrule Castle, that giant wind thing, Death Mountain, and lumps of malice everywhere in Link's arm. Link's arm. Now, of course, Breath of the Wild wasn't perfect. I consider it one of the best Zelda games, and it's constantly battling within my heart for supremacy when it comes to Ocarina of Time or, that game. But one thing that a lot of people really didn't like about Breath of the Wild, and I definitely understand, was the lack of traditional dungeons in which they were replaced with Divine Beasts. I like the Divine Beasts for what they were, and I love the inclusion of the Sheikah Shrines, right? But I do want to see traditional dungeons to come back. Well, with more and more trailers ever since the first trailer, I mean, dungeons have been alluded to return, the possibilities since the first trailer, with that shot of going into what seems to be a dungeon entrance, and then apparently from all the other trailers we've been seeing a lot of things in the sky, those big pillars that I feel are dungeon entrances, and now we're seeing more and more like inscriptions on the ground, which I feel could be dungeon entrances under the ground, since the underground has finally been confirmed. That's another one for the list. But I honestly would love to see how Breath of the Wild, or I should say Tears of the Kingdom's own style of gameplay, aside from previous Zelda games, how it tackles traditional dungeons, right? Because, Link will be able to climb almost any surface. Will the surface within dungeons not be climbable? Kind of like how they are in Sheikah Shrines or anything like that. We'll have to wait and see to see how Link's skills and his understanding of the world will be applied to these dungeons. And I'm hoping there's a good number of them. But at the same time, don't take away Sheikah Shrines or their equivalent, or something like that. Have it alongside traditional dungeons with Sheikah Shrines. Yeah, together. Now here's something that I'm probably gonna make its own video on, and I see a lot of people don't really talk about that, right? And I want to see the massive differences, and that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do in Tears of the Kingdom. I want to go to all the familiar places within Breath of the Wild and see how they changed in Tears of the Kingdom. Who's gonna stop me, right? It's Breath of the Wild. It's Breath of the Wild's world. Nothing is supposed to stop me, all right? Nothing's supposed to be in our way. I'm about to roll up to Death Mountain, see what's going on, check out my homies to see if they're okay. I'm gonna go see what's going on with the Lennar region, because we know about that giant tornado over Hebra, whatever, and we know that Death Mountain is spewing malice, and we know that the Hyrule Castle is being afloat, but we don't know what's going on with the desert, and we don't know what's going on with the Lennar province. I want to check out my homies. I want to see how, these places got changed. I want to go to every nook and cranny and see how this world and how the characters and how the lives have changed from Breath of the Wild going into Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm just going to take it all for notes and be like, oh, wow, you did this, awesome. Hey, that's cool. I'm happy for you. Oh, you finally got that tooth removed? All right, homie. Oh, wow, they died? I wonder if that bar is still open in the Gerudo town. Now, there's one of the most badass aspects of Tears of the Kingdom ever since the first trailer. Link's new green glowing arm. The power, the nails, the design, the fact that his arm got smoked. Like we already knew that something was gonna happen to Link's arm since the first trailer. Like either, Link was gonna absorb the power, cool. Oh, in the second trailer, Link's arm looks like it gets messed up and it gets replaced. Cool, awesome. The third trailer, nothing really, it was just there. But the fourth trailer was like, bro, what? Oh, yeah, it's gone. Like his skin was caved in. But now to see that a hardcore bodily damage happened to our boy Link, so much so that he needs to replace it with a new arm that has power, that's green, has a dormant, that just has this mysterious air to it. Like Princess Mononoke. I'm completely psyched for it. I want to know what this new arm is about. What can it do? Is it derived from the Zonai? Is it derived from the Twilight? What abilities will it have? Will it be permanent with Link? Does Link not get a new arm? Will he get a mechanical arm? Are we going full Return of the Jedi here? What's going on? I need to know, and this is one of the more focal points of Zelda. And it was to the point where I thought that Tears of the Kingdom's name, before it got revealed to be Tears of the Kingdom, had to do something with this arm, because that seems really important, right? And also I like to see how this will either be, accompanying the powers from the Sheikah Slate, because what Zelda has looks like a Sheikah Slate, it looks like a Nintendo Switch, because the Sheikah Slate was based on the Wii U gamepad, whatever, right? I want to see if that's gonna accompany that or be the new thing, because we see the reverse stasis, and it's the new magnet thing that only seems to work with Zonai material or whatever. But I want to see what's going down with Link's new arm. I want to know how high we're gonna go. Yeah, that's literally it. And, it's funny because ever since it got alluded to in the first trailer, but a lot of people thought the castle, a divine beast is coming out from under the castle. Those are legs and blah, blah, blah. But it turned out it was just being floated by Mouse in the second trailer. But ever since the second trailer, we have been going higher and higher and higher in the sky. To the point it's we see the Sky Islands. I'm Sky Islands. They're above Hyrule. Cool. And then it gets even higher. The third trailer, I'm okay, whoa, we're really high up. Whoa, we go through the clouds. Word. And in the fourth trailer, I'm just bro, there are no clouds above Link. I want to explain how he's not freezing to death, all right? Just Breath of the Wild deals with, cold, hot, all that stuff. I want to know how high we can go and what else we can do in terms of being that high up. We saw that shield surfing and mine carts in these floating islands that are being mined or whatever. Link diving, Link using a new diving board, of course the paraglider, and all that good jazz, and then of course the patents that showed aerial combat with the bow and arrow. I want to know if we can swing our sword in the air. Can you imagine the bosses? Woo! I want to know how high we can go, and it's looking you would think that the latest trailer showed us the highest we could go, because there were no clouds above Link. He was up looking at the literal curvature of the earth, the horizon, the stratosphere, whatever sphere is that. But in the distance, as he's that high, you see islands that go up and beyond. Like, yo, are we going to space? Are we going to the heavens? Are we going to the point where the Triforce was left behind by the 3 golden goddesses? I want to know. Now, here is where things get creative with all the people and everyone playing Breath of the Wild. Already, Breath of the Wild was a playground for people to get really wacky in terms of what they can do and how they can break the world and how they can, you know, defeat certain enemies, get to point A to point B, bomb surfing, all that good jazz. And Nintendo saw all that and was like, you know what? Let's make that a feature. And now we're getting the ability to put together Zonai creations in the form of vehicles and what looks to be weapons. Like, man, I honestly did not see this coming at all. When I'm like, okay, I was asking for the longest how Breath of the Wild was going to be separated from Tears of the Kingdom, as, you know, the Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel to the game. What will Tears of the Kingdom do to separate itself from Breath of the Wild? And the fact that we're able to build all this stuff, like a hot air balloon, a car, a flying machine, and God knows what else, because it's not looking like, you know, these are things that you have to find in terms of them already built. It looks like we have to stick them together with glue. With glue. Some sort of sticky adhesive, alright? We have to put together our own creations, and I want to see everybody, I want to see the entire Zelda community and beyond get really dumb, putting together the dumbest things ever. And hopefully, if my theory is correct on how online will work with Tears of the Kingdom, maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to put up your wacky ass designs online for others to download and then for them to use. I want this game to be broken all over again, just like how Breath of the Wild was in terms of this stuff. And we haven't even counted the possibility for the weapons. The weapons, Link using what seems to be a cannon for a club and firing that at a Talus, just like, oh, yo, let me at the bosses. Let me at the bosses. I'm gonna give you the 1-2 leg and thigh combo. Let's go. Ain't no thing but a chicken one. Let's do it. Thankfully, my prayers have been answered, because I was kind of scared, a little scared. I was a little scared from, like, you know, the trails going off, because one of the biggest complaints in Breath of the Wild was the enemy variety, right? There weren't a lot of enemies in the game. There were bokoblins, Bazoflos, moblins, Lynels, Taluses, Wizrobes, Keese, Yiga people, Blights, Stalls. So I want more enemy variety in Tears of the Kingdom, and the latest trailer really came through. I mean, once again, it was alluded to in previous trailers. When it comes to the second trailer, what looks like to be a like hanging from the ceiling, and what seems to be a mechanical enemy of sorts, powered by Zonai energy or technology or whatever. But in the latest trailer, we got Redeads! That's a Redead. That's a Redead. We got boss bokoblins, you know, chunking, right? And we got Gleeoks. Flaming Gleeoks. I hope there's more elemental ones on, like, you know, it's on the Great Bridge of Light, and it's big, it's gigantic, right? It's huge, right? So Nintendo, keep them coming. I want to see more. I want to see more enemies, returning enemies, all that good jazz. I want to see Pose, Skulltulas. I want to see, we got Redeads. I want to see Gibdos. I want to see Darknuts. I want to see them all, man. Give me Skulltulas, man. I want all of that stuff, right? So I'm really, really excited that Nintendo came through with adding more, you know, returning enemy designs. I like to see something new, right? I like to see something new. Thanks, Nintendo. The underground. Guys, you don't understand how hyped I am for the underground in Tears of the Kingdom. Listen, here's the thing, right? The underground was always alluded to, like, because the sky got confirmed as early as the second trailer. The underground was always alluded to, right? But never outright confirmed, thanks to the first trailer, right? But we never really got an idea of us actually entering the underground until the latest trailer, until the last trailer, in which we got this glorious, expansive area of them mining, of like bokoblins and Bazoflos mining God knows what. It looks gigantic, right? And then we see points where it leads into a cavern system from the third trailer, and then different cavern-like areas in the third trailer. I'm astounded. I'm ready, Freddy. Like, just give me all the underground, as much underground as you can. Because, I mean, going from Elden Ring, where, like, you know, the Forgotten Castle, the Forgotten City, the City of, like, Eternity, whatever Nokron? No, not. Whatever, right? The underground in Elden Ring spoiled me so much, and I want that for Tears of the Kingdom. I want it so badly, you know, because it's like with Elden Ring, just go to underground. I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be like a pocket area, just a cavern or no, but just it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can go and enter from different points of the overground into the underground. I want that for Tears of the Kingdom. I need that for Tears of the Kingdom. Give it to me. Give that to me, to us, to Zelda fans. We've been wanting this, and I want to see, because like, Aonuma has been saying that, like, oh, we're going to be dealing with the familiar land of Hyrule and above the clouds and beyond. Above the clouds, that looks big. That looks massive. And underground, I want it to be equally as massive. I don't want it to get shafted. I want to be able to go to the underground and be like, okay, this is it. This is some dink. This is some wild boy stuff. And I want to see the wildest enemies, flora, fauna, and anything. Like, if I need to get a specific mining material to make a specific sword that isn't anywhere, you better send me down underground. That's what I want to do. The story of Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, so Breath of the Wild, here's the thing about Breath of the Wild, right? A lot of people think that Breath of the Wild had a bad story. No, I believe Breath of the Wild had a really, really good story. It just had bad presentation. That's the big difference, right? So I'm out here waiting for Tears of the Kingdom, because, like, you know, Breath of the Wild, the reason why the story was like that is because, like, the air of mystery. You have to get all your memories back. You have to find out what happened to Hyrule and what happened to you, Link, the player, right? But Tears of the Kingdom, we have our memories. We have a clear idea and goal. We had to defeat Ganondorf. I want to see how they're going to tackle the story, as well as tackling the whole, like, concept and identity of Breath of the Wild into Tears of the Kingdom, where we could craft our own story, craft our own path, or whatever. And I want to see how they get progression done, right? And I hope that Tears of the Kingdom story is not only going to be a dark one, a sinister one, a deep one, but it's going to be one that's going to be presented in a way better light than it is in Breath of the Wild. I want Tears of the Kingdom to make Breath of the Wild look like an afterthought in all aspects, and that includes story and presentation. And I'm excited from what we are seeing when it comes to this world of Hyrule that was plagued by the Great Calamity, and we thought it was over, and then Ganondorf was like, nah. And speaking of Ganondorf, that's my number one. Ganondorf. That is my number one reason why I'm so hyped for Tears of the Kingdom. You guys don't understand. I've been wanting Ganondorf to come back in a Zelda game for years, right? For years. Literal years. Like, the last time he was in a game officially was Twilight Princess. I keep saying that, but why do I keep saying that? Because it's true, right? To see the Great King of Evil back and about and ready to roll. I just hope that he gets pristine again. I hope he's not I hope he's not mummified the whole game. I really hope there's like a halfway point within Tears of the Kingdom where Ganondorf like achieves his goal of becoming hot again, and then he starts like messing with us like in the Mummy Returns or whatever. But the fact that Ganondorf is back, that he's gonna be voiced, and I feel that Ganondorf is going to be the key into the story of Tears of the Kingdom finally fitting alongside Breath of the Wild in the Zelda timeline, because Ganondorf has a lot of context that he's just burning to share on his hatred for this land and how he got to where he got in this game. Because I honestly believe that the Ganondorf that we see in Tears of the Kingdom is the same Ganondorf we've seen before somewhere. And then he's going to give us the context, and then we're going to finally learn where this game takes place in the timeline, the story, and all that good jazz. I'm still out here pro-child timeline, so let's get it, Ganondorf. And I want to see him fight in so many different boss ways and stuff like that to honestly make up for Dark Beast Ganon in Breath of the Wild. That boss fight was just not it, right? I want to see him fight with either sword or trident, but I mean, the hieroglyphs show him fighting with the trident, which I feel will be a really cool boss fight. Just like Ganondorf, 7+ foot tall, looking at Link. It's like, it's time, hero, face me, right? And just like, you know, with the trident, just like bam, 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 kill combo right there. Link death animation just like in Metroid Dread. Through the eye, through the neck. And just Scorpion King, just like, they're obviously not going to show that, but I mean, I want things to get wild. Breath of the Wild. Ganondorf, easily, for so many reasons, is the #1 reason why I'm hyped for Tears of the Kingdom as of now. But hopefully, with a new trailer or two or new information, there'll be more reasons to get hyped all over again for this game that's coming very soon. And Zelda fans, I cannot wait. But I want to know what you guys think. What makes you the most excited when it comes to this game that's coming out in May? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK. Until the next video, this has been your boy HMK, and I'll check you guys later.